We're really excited to play and have an opportunity to be in Vegas. Coach Odom runs the Maui Invitational. You guys remember Dave Odom, the longtime coach at South Carolina and Wake Forest. Thankful that the Aggies can be a part of it and the people that are coming to watch us play. I think 3 games in 3 days, when you talk about the level of competition, it's critical that all 11 of our guys give their best effort. I think that what we did on Wednesday was paramount for us having a chance in Vegas. How hard we played, how we played for one another offensively, and then on the defensive end, not giving up points in transition and only allowing the opponent one shot. And I think anytime you're in a tournament setting, that'll end up being the key to us having a chance for success.
Buzz, do you even know what to expect from your guys when they go up against a team like Wisconsin and a program like that?
What we're going to try to do today is give them a better feel and some context for how Wisconsin plays. In my tenure here, we have not played against a team that has the same foundation that Wisconsin does. Obviously, because of my path, I'm very familiar with them. We played them 6 times each year when I was at Marquette, and then we played them in the NCAA tournament, our first NCAA tournament at Virginia Tech. So we've watched a lot of tape. Our staff's done a great job in preparation, but today we're going to cheat a little bit of our prep time, just showing our guys how they play, because it's unique to anything I think our guys have played against thus far in their career.
What is unique about it?
They're incredibly physical. They have great poise late in the clock. It'll be the slowest game I anticipate we have played since I've been employed here. They never beat themselves. And so if you have empty possessions with turnovers, if you're taking bad shots, they don't foul a lot and they stay between you and the basket, so it's really hard to get them in rotation because of how they play. And then on offense, they're going to post every single player on their team. And they're probably going to post their guards and forwards more than they're going to post their bigs. And so your rotation and how you guard the post changes because of who they have posting up.
And how do you think your melting pot, if you will, of guys from all these different programs coming in, all these transfers coming in, and you're trying to get them all playing together, how's that coming along?
I wasn't here for the first 2 games, so I was watching it probably not with as good a view as you had. I thought we played much harder on Friday than we did on Wednesday. But the opponent on Wednesday and the opponent on Friday, their styles of play were drastically different. I thought we were okay on Sunday, but I thought Wednesday was our best effort. I thought it was the best melting pot. We're all going in the same direction offensively. And then for sure, it was the best we had done finishing the possession on the defensive glass. I think we have to be succinct as coaches with as many new guys in explaining to our guys, this is our standard / these are the priorities relative to how we win this game. And so that's a little different when there's so many new guys that haven't played real minutes at this level. How can we boil it down to the lowest common denominator so that they understand what we're expecting of them and then also what they need to execute?
Will you learn a lot about your guys? Because I know a couple of years ago, y'all went on a tournament and it didn't go well, but y'all ended up having a really strong season. So I wonder if it's too early.
Yeah, it is early. We've played 4 games, obviously, in the first week of the season, and now we're about to play 3 games in the second week of the season. Excited to play with this level of exposure, but at the same time, I hope that our teams always are better after Valentine's Day than before Christmas. You want to make steady growth. You want there to be a crescendo to how you play, how you execute, but all coaches, all players want to be able to play at this level. We were really bad in Orlando. Temple just absolutely was way tougher than us in game number 2 there. I thought we were okay in game number 1. And then against Fairfield, you know, The kid had multiple threes. I think he ended with 31 that particular game. And so this is a different group. This is also a different level of competition. I think if you were to ask coaches to have an opportunity to play in Maui, normally it's a long wait list just to be able to play. And so to be able to play with Houston, a national championship caliber team, Wisconsin, one of the best teams over the last 50 years in the country, Oregon, St. Mary's, Notre Dame. I mean, there's really good teams, and I think Butler, even if you just look at the last 10 years, for us to be able to be in that group 3 consecutive days, we're going to be forced to learn a lot.
So are you a Vegas kind of guy? I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I am probably not supposed to say this publicly because I don't have any hobbies other than exercise and reading, but if there was one place that I could go, I would go to Vegas. It's just that this time in Vegas, I'll actually do nothing other than be a coach. So whether the tournament's in Maui or Vegas or Bryan, my role will stay the same. But if I have a chance to go to Vegas, I love live music, I love shows, I love numbers. So I know my parents would be disappointed in me, but I like to throw dice, and I have a distinct style in how I bet. And I guess Corey and I have been married a little over 20 years, and I taught her this is how you play the odds. And so she does the exact opposite of what I've taught her. So it's always a push. Either I'm winning, she's losing, or she's winning and I'm losing based on the numbers.
3 games in 3 days, Buzz. Is this where kind of boot camp comes into play? Because I know it's a big fall in your ranks.
Yeah, I think it's where boot camp comes into play. I also think it's where I hope that how we have assimilated the roster and the grouping of guys that we have, that our depth can play a factor. It's a little too early through a unique first week, particularly with 4 games in a unique week, to exactly know what the bench is or who's going to start or who should finish. I think we've made some progress on that, but every game we've had 11 guys play. I think we had 4 guys in double figures on Wednesday. I think we had 5 guys in double figures on Sunday. I think on Wednesday, everybody of the 11 played double-digit minutes. That's good. You know, you can absorb somebody not playing well. You can absorb somebody in early foul trouble. You can hold guys accountable. So I like playing with a lot of depth and a lot of guys that can help in multiple ways. I don't know that we're fluid in how we're going to do that yet, but I think we've made a good in a 1 week, we've made some strides in that.
I know we talked a lot of defensive rebounding after the game last Sunday, whenever it was. Whenever it was.
Yep.
What is the next steps for your front court that you'd like to see maybe beyond that, or is that the main thing you really are looking at?
Yeah, I think our guards, specific to defensive rebounding, I think our guards have got to have just as much of a role, Travis, as maybe our bigs. Because for the most part, every team is going to send 2 guys back. And so we need it to be 5-on-3 relative to the numbers. And then on the weak side of the court, relative to where the shot is taken, we need to have more guys than they do. And so even though the stat sheet may say a particular number relative to someone's name and how many rebounds they had, in how we do it, it's not just who got it, it's what led to that person getting it. And so I don't think we were great in the first 3 games, any of us, from a defensive rebounding percentage. 38% is what they were rebounding, and then on Wednesday it was 19%. That distinctly changes our team. And it changes our team not only defensively, but it changes our team offensively. The only guys on our roster, JB, Ethan, Aaron, if those 3 guys get a rebound, they're going to throw it to somebody else. But if anybody else on our team gets a rebound, in that particular possession, they're initiating offense. For instance, on Sunday, Hassan had 5 defensive rebounds in the first half. For that particular game, he rebounded 35% of the balls that were missed when we were on defense. That's a phenomenal number for a guard. But he ended up with 6, but that was 6 times that he got the ball, that he is initiating offense, and we should have 2 guys ahead of him. 4 had 5 assists and 0 turnovers. The pace at which he played was easily the fastest that anybody had played thus far on our team. He is a fast player, but a part of what made him extra fast was the opponent wasn't getting the ball and scoring on a putback. So now all of a sudden we're getting possession and 4 is able to play at a really fast pace. We count throw ahead. So how many times when we cross half court did we dribble it across or did we throw it across? And 4 is elite at throwing it across. And when we don't throw it across, we don't want to just keep dribbling on the same words we use. We want to cross the street so that as we're crossing the street, the defense has to go from ball side to weak side. I thought his pace was a game changer. But the reason we had that pace is we were finishing with a defensive rebound. So there's a compound impact to us being able to finish the possession defensively. And 20% difference in a 68-ish possession game, that's dramatic. And I thought that was why we scored at such a high rate, but it was also why they didn't score in transition as much. And then we're not fouling them as much. And also they're only getting 1 shot. So there's like layers to why that's so important. And I think for our team, based on what I know through 4 games, that has to become a constant. Because if teams are rebounding at the 38% mark that they were in games 1 through 3, that's too hard to overcome mathematically.
Have y'all figured out what any changes to whiteboard stats are going to be this year yet?
Yeah, we're doing, I'm about to do whiteboard stats with our guys to praise them. We had 13 turkeys. That's the highest number in my entire career. I think that was my 478th game as a coach. I think that's right. Never have had 13 turkeys. We had 13 turkeys. We had 3 charges. That's good. That's not great. We had 3 first to the floors. That's good, not great. But the numbers bear out that we were better than we've ever been in that game this season. 81% defensive rate. For some reason, our contested 3 percentage number, we're bad. And I have some ideas on why it's bad. Some of it is our transition defense, but that's the next thing that we have to shore up. That would help.